What is going on, everyone? This is ACK back with another Spotlight Series interview. And today we have another brand new artist here, as we do every other week. So today we got another singer, Randall Fowler. Randall, what's going on, man? How are you?
What's going on, AC? How you doing today, brother?
Not too bad. It's a little chilly here up in Massachusetts today. Freezing my
Oh yeah.
ass off today.
What's the temperature today?
It's a little under, I think it's probably around like 18, 20 today, somewhere around
Oh,
there.
nice. We were cruising in the 60s today, but we had
Oh,
some crappy stuff down here in Charleston
ugh.
for the past 3 weeks. Nothing but rain. You know what I mean?
Oh, no,
And it's
exactly.
good to see a break and some sunshine for a bit.
No,
But
exactly. We got a tease the other day. It was only it was 70 and sunny out here like 2 days ago, and now it's like 20 and like the wind's like killing me right now.
I can only imagine. It's brutal up there in the wintertime too.
No, exactly. And then plus
I
they
know a
even said
couple
we
people.
might be
I
getting
know a
some more
couple people
snow.
around that way. Yeah. But
Hey,
yeah,
but
man.
I mean as long as we can get the sunshine out here, that's fine with me.
Amen.
So without I'm just gonna start jumping right into some questions for you because it's pretty much just how I roll here. So
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear it.
basically,
Yeah.
well, actually, you know what? Before we get into the questions, why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
So my name is Randall Fowler. I'm a singer-songwriter here in Charleston, South Carolina. I have been playing in bands. Well, I say bands, one band particular, since I started about 10 years ago. Ellen Drive was my first band I was in. It was a cover gig, all covers. And then for the past 2 years, I just started getting out and away. Well, coming up on, we're at 2.5 years now. So time flies by, and when you talk about it, you don't realize how quick it catches up to you.
No,
So 2.5
exactly.
years we've been going at it with the original stuff, and I released. You listened to some of my stuff, my earlier stuff today. You said, right?
Yeah,
We talked about that. The recipe,
yeah. The number one
that,
draft pick.
yeah, the number one draft pick came. That whole EP was 2018. It was my first release,
Yep.
and just been going at it real hard, man, on the writing and creative part. Being here in Charleston, it's a little different because I don't live in town like a lot of people that I'm trying to, network with and
Yep.
connect with immediately.
Mm.
8-hour drive, that ain't too bad. We make it happen every now and again. We jump on a plane and go fly out there, but
Yeah.
transitioning into, better songwriting and just keeping the same flavor I have, just approaching it a little different, you know what I mean? With different words and stuff like that.
For sure.
So, always try to get better, try to show growth or whatever you do. So last year since I released my EP in 2018, last year I released 3 songs that I went to Nashville to record. My first experience in Nashville in the studio and all that good stuff, like the big boy studio, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I've
the
been to
big
a
boy
few
studio.
studios. I've been to a few studios in my life, but then, going to the good stuff is Grady Saxman over there at Saxman Studio. Shout out to him. He's got his hands in a bunch of great up and comers, and he's done some work with some great artists that are out there right now. So I got involved with him, and he welcomed us with open arms, and we tried to figure out what the sound was, and
Right.
It's a process. You're trying to become the best you can be, and if you can get other ideas and influences and some help from your buddies that know what they're doing, it makes it
No,
hell
it
of a
does.
lot
It makes
better. You
it
just got to be a sponge, and
exactly.
and absorb all the information that they give you whenever you're in the room with them. But that's led us to 3 releases last year. What She's Sipping On in March, and then the pandemic hit. Wanted to play some shows, couldn't because of all that. Luckily, I was able to play a couple. During in the midst of all of that, we had South Carolina. We hadn't been too crazy with
Right.
we're respectful to one another down here when it comes to that. But closing down the bars and restaurants didn't help anyone.
No, exactly, and I can imagine that was definitely
same old
hard.
story. Right. So you're trying to get your name out there in the middle of a pandemic. So what do? You try to create content and try to keep the relevance you have going and the momentum you have going. You drop a couple of releases here and there, and then also started doing some TikToks.
Yep.
And that started to work out a little better for me. We just started one a couple of weeks ago, and that's up to about 20,000 followers.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of crazy. Did a couple videos went viral for me.
Yeah.
Had a couple, 500,000 some odd, upward of that much streams, and the followers started coming, man. They want to hear more, so like, and that's been fun too, experimental stuff to see what people you don't even know, that don't have any perception of you whatsoever.
Exactly.
Just get to hear you, and
Yeah.
you try different things, you try different styles every now and again, keeping it within the boundaries respectfully.
No, exactly.
You try different styles and then different ways of writing. And then it's that's led me to approaching spring. I'm sorry, I skipped the other two releases. I released Slow It Down, a song called Slow It Down in early August of last year. And then I released Coming Home in December. And that was my first. I'm proud of all the songs, but as far as if you want to say successful, the most success I've had has been getting on a couple editorial Spotify playlists and stuff, all organically,
Yep.
That feels cool. That's a good feeling whenever somebody listening to the work you put in. And but you got to stay at it, you know what I mean? So we got some stuff locked and loaded right now, ready to drop and release in April. Got a big show coming up April 24th.
Oh, awesome.
At the Firefly Distillery here in Charleston, South Carolina. And that's going to be open to about 800 people. They have 200 squares with 4 people per square. So it's a safe, socially distanced event as we still navigate through this time. And they also have, I think 100, the tickets were selling pretty good. So they decided to add a couple 100 juicy individual spots for you to get, you know what I mean?
Awesome.
So those are exclusive. And I think they're halfway burned through those right now. So if you're listening to this and you haven't bought a ticket, you need to get up on it, man. If you're flying solo or with a date, you know what I mean? Because they're selling fast, or else you're gonna have to holler at your friends to see what's up,
No, exactly. No, and I'll tell you, it's definitely 100% worth it. I listened to all of his songs, and I mean, you're just killing it out there with those couple of songs that you have out there and that EP and stuff. It's definitely gonna. I can definitely see you being big in the next year or two for sure.
Well, you got to put a lot of hard work into it. And we have, we've taken off. I feel like the guys I work with, people, my wife, everybody involved with what we have going on. We're taking it real serious to push it to the next level, and
right.
We want to make it happen, and we're in a position to. Hopefully we get to play some more shows than what we're, the opportunities that are in front of us now, but,
no, exactly. And I mean, a lot of things are starting to open back up, like
the world opened up. That's what's speaking for myself and probably, everyone else in the industry. I guess we're all waiting for this thing to get lifted so we can go ahead and go, man, and make it happen. Because if we had, a lot of people have been being creative, over this time, and it's
for sure.
You don't get the shows while they're hot. You're not probably going to get them,
So, exactly.
We're trying to push on that right now. So
yeah, no,
it's coming in hot. Spring and summertime. Randall Fowler music, baby.
I can't wait for it.
I've got some cool songs that each time we've been to record, and the process has been more fun. You learned a lot more, so you can apply more to it. And I've got some really cool material coming out that I think that we knocked it out and kind of helps everyone, feel kind of like my style and my flavor, added to it a little bit. You get a little bit more, man. The meat that we put on the grill is a little bit juicier this time. For lack of better analogy.
So kind of one of my questions here is like, how did music start for you? Like, where did it start at like the early age? Like where did it all come from? How did it all start for you?
So personally, I grew up at an early age around a family that like country music and like to sing, every time a song came on the radio. So I guess I developed it from them because they told me from the moment I could speak, I was trying to sing songs. So it's never really been pushed on me like that as a child. And then, growing up, my family kind of got split up a little bit, but there was never really anyone doing it seriously, professionally, or trying to pursue it at all. Just a bunch of people that love to drink beer and listen to country music. And and sing a lot. They sing a lot. One of my aunts, Mary, she passed away a few years back. She was a big time person in my life when it came to singing. You know, she's always, come here, you know, go sing. Let's go sing on the porch or something. All right, go. Let's do it. You know, it's like 6 years old. You know,
No,
you're
right.
out there. Bring that boy outside. Make him sing some songs for us. You know what I'm saying? But from what I understand, you know, they were saying, hey, you sound good. You know what I mean? And as a kid, you know, now I know, like, dang, they say you sound good. You're just telling them that because you're giving them some good props. You know, you're trying to like brighten their spirits up. But, you know, as we got older and time goes by, it's kind of like, dang, they're like, dang, you know, like he
No, exactly.
got something, you know. So I moved to Charleston, South Carolina when I was about 10 years old from just south of Richmond, Virginia.
Mhm.
And we came down here for my stepdad's job, and my mom liked it here, so we decided to stick around. So they moved to Memphis, and she liked it here, so she wanted to come back. And at that same time, I was moving in with her, and we were headed here. And I did the whole, you know, football team stuff, baseball team stuff, high school sports, all that good stuff. And I always sang in the locker room, kidding around with my buddies. You know, they're like, oh, this man, you know how it is. A little banner going on in there. They're giving you some flack about it, but you know, they're like, hey, you know, you sound pretty good, man. You want to
No,
come get on a
exactly.
rap song, or do you like rock? You want to sing some? I'm like, nah, man, I ain't messing with all that stuff. You know, I'm just kind of, I dabbled here and there, a couple friends' studios, but it's like I went to work at this place and I started. I became a line cook at like 18 or 19, and I started working at this place, and we had a dish pit that I would just go back there, turn the radio on. Whoever was in the dish pit washing dishes, you got it cranked up.
No,
But
exactly.
I
I
changed the
used to do that
station.
a while back too myself.
These folks ain't really mess with country back then like that. You know what I mean? So I'm
No,
turning it
exactly.
up, and I'm like back there. Everybody's like, this ain't what I used to listen to back here, man. This man's back here going crazy. He's playing country. But I'll be back there singing every word to every song, and everybody's like, dang, you know, that's awesome, man. You sound good. And bartender at the time, Joey Kocius, he ended up becoming the drummer in the band that I didn't know we were going to start. So he comes back there and he's like, hey, man, you sound pretty good, man. I'm starting a band. You want to be in a band? You ever been in a band? But really, the first thing he said to me, he goes, hey, man, come back here and sing something for me real quick outside by the trash can. I'm like, what the hell kind of Motown Philly is going on up in this bitch? You know, the street, under the street light by the trash can. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, cool. He's like, man, that's awesome. He said, want to be in a band? So I said, sure. I don't have anything else going on. I didn't know what I wanted at the time, you know, where I was headed. You know, college wasn't in the picture for me.
Right.
So I was like, whatever. Hey, man, first show was off the chain. So then it became, man, this is awesome. Then you get this whole little ego, and
Exactly.
you're like, oh man, you're trying to stay humble. It was a lot of rock and roll and late nights, and you know, we started to experiment. It was a top 40 type band. We started experiment with more like R&B, hip hop, and then we started mashing up the stuff, and then we throw some old stuff in there, some old we played a lot of Foo Fighters,
Okay.
Weezer, Incubus, the Toadies. We played a lot of crazy stuff too, but it was always a song that you wouldn't typically hear
Mhm.
by another band, or you know, if we played a song, you would hear like Santeria or something like that, just because, you know, just because everybody else is doing it, you know, that didn't mean we didn't have to, you know what I mean? Because
No,
we
right.
actually did it pretty good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, we're not gonna let y'all be annoyed by the people that are too loud playing cover gigs. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna play it how it should be played, you know, or whatever.
No,
So
exactly.
we thought. But so yeah, man, that band started. We were pretty receptive. Got won a couple battle of the bands around here, and then very locally touted. After, you know, we didn't really book many shows because everyone was asking us to play, and that was awesome. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And those guys are great, and I learned a lot from those guys on how to, you know, a lot of growing up, a lot of
Mhm.
how to handle, you know, my temperament in certain situations when it comes to music, and
Yep.
being respectful, and you know how to be etiquette. Those guys are wild. I'm over here talking about them like they're some angels, but you know what I'm saying? They taught me a lot because they were older than me. You know, at the
No,
time I was
exactly.
21 and they were already in, you know, late 20s, and one guy was early 30s. Just guys wanting to go at it, man. And right
No,
now,
exactly.
one of the guys in the band, he plays guitar, Justin Hodge. He's still with me.
Mhm.
That's my dude. We do a lot of things together as far as music goes, acoustic and duos and stuff like that. So, but here I am, man. Ready to
No,
book some
that's
shows,
awesome.
man.
No, that is like really cool. I mean, because like everyone always has a story like coming up and stuff too, so it's always just cool to hear those stories and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, like another thing to add to that is like making the transition out of a cover band, local band, to saying, "Hey guys, I'm Randall Fowler. I'm going to be making my own music, but it's a different style that you might not be used to. I'm gonna go
Right.
country on them. Straight up. You're not gonna hear the Kings of Leon covers unless I feel like my artist side at a live concert needs to, pull it out, or I'll please the people. If you come to my show frequently and you ask me for a song request and I'm playing some covers that night, I'll try and see if I can't, help you out. You know what I mean? Like
No,
it's
for
a
sure.
it's an emotionally driven business.
No, no, it definitely is. No, like I totally know what you're saying, and like I can already like just tell like how you definitely like separate yourself, and a big keyword that I always love using is instant identity. Like you definitely know who you are, like you know what Randall Fowler is kind of all about, and like really developing like that, like just that identity of like who you want to be and stuff like that, and it's really cool.
And everyone, like I said, like locally, it's always been good, but it took a minute for people to realize that, everyone knew my cover band name, but they didn't know who the hell Randall Fowler was.
Right.
So now I got to kind of it's not like, damn, the streets don't love me no more. It's no, I got to get my nose back out there a little bit and let them know, remind them about a time. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Now here I am again. I'm back. You know what I'm saying?
No,
So
exactly.
it's kind of cool, and it's actually fascinating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, for sure. I kind of want to touch up, just because, like, once obviously at the end of this, everyone's favorite part, is listening to the music. But like with all
Awesome.
the music that you have out, how do you start writing a song? Like, what's like your writing process like when it comes to writing and stuff like that?
Um, for the longest time, I didn't know how to write a song.
Hmm.
I didn't. I don't want to say I didn't apply. I just feel like it was more or less like I didn't have to. I was like, I don't need to write a song. I can, go make a living off of singing songs. And then you learn throughout time that it's like not what it's all about. You grow up, and your bills can get paid pretty damn well playing cover music if you want to. I don't want to discourage anyone. If you do it really good and people love you, man, that's what they love you for. You know what I mean? They want you make them happy, and the covers make them happy and you happy. Kick it. But for me, it's you have to have an original song, and you have to, it all starts with a song. So with that in mind, I was like, let me kick this in gear.
Yep.
I was about to quit the band, and we were kind of, nobody really wanted to do it, and you know what I mean. It was getting to be in the way a little more than it was
Right.
beneficial. So we were, kind of breaking down, and then a buddy of mine approached me with these songs he already had, and then so like a light bulb clicked. I want to say, I mean, he and I talk about this a lot. So I don't know what happened, but you brought that idea, and those songs to me via tracks, which turned into the recipe, the whole EP. You know what I mean? That was our first project ever. He showed me the song, the recipe, and then I was like, damn, I was sold. James Chamberlain is his name.
Mhm.
James don't show his face in the camera no more, as he should, but he's a great guy. On top of being a great songwriter, he's got he's got a mind that comes at you from different directions, man. He always keeps you thinking on your toes. He's got great concepts and all
Yep.
that stuff. So he kind of got me thinking. I was like, man, I can relate more to him when it came to. I want to say it's because he and I kind of got each other. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah.
As to me playing with the rock and roll kids and the punk rock kids, I started getting around a more like-minded, homegrown source, I guess, if you will, because he's more of a country guy
Yeah.
out from the part of the sticks out here in Andrews, South Carolina. So, you know, once he and I linked up and started doing that, man, all these ideas started coming to my head. It got to the point where I was just singing melodies, and all right, I'll take that and put that somewhere. You know, you should see my voice memos up into like 6,000 right now. There's probably some hit songs in there. You know what I'm saying?
No, I can
like
imagine.
that didn't sound good at the time, but if you took them and did a couple of things, you know what I mean? Couple different ideas. But writing the song, you know, there's many different ways to do it. You just have to figure out what gets you going. Like for me, like it doesn't matter. We'll sit here and play a track over and over again.
Yeah.
And see if we can get anything from it. Hey now, y'all wanna come be on TV? Come on. Come here, Penny. Penny, this is my dog, Penny.
Oh, hello, Penny.
Ferocious.
How are you?
As can be.
No, that's awesome. I got a Beagle Basset over here too.
Yeah, she's barking out the window for some reason at the time. That's kind of strange. But anyhow, nobody's here either. So writing, as far as songwriting goes, it's like, you know, it's many ways to approach it. A lot of people like to start out with, you know, the guitar, the chord progression, you know what I mean? Right. Or keyboard, or chord progression. I think it's a feeling. I get these cool hooks and catchy hooks in my head sometimes, and it's a passionate tick that comes out of me where I have to like belt it up, you know, something crazy.
Yeah.
Or something. I'll sing a lyric probably 500 to 500 different ways, you know what I'm saying? Like, until I feel like it feels right, or like a moment. And I'm getting better at that too, you know what I mean? Like being able to just go straight to it. You know, my tendencies towards the you know, right where it needs to be, I feel like are getting better, and I'm starting to just come off with more raw emotion. You know what I mean?
No, I totally get that. Me as a songwriter, like I definitely put a lot of emotion into my writing and stuff like that. And
how do you approach writing?
So like when I approach writing, like mine, like I said, mine's like way more kind of, it comes right from the heart. Like I've done it like since 2018. There's been like a lot of things in my life that have happened, and like just a lot of it comes just from like that pure emotion. Like the first song I ever wrote was about my grandfather passing away in 2018, and I was just kind of lost and confused and didn't know what to do. So I started writing, and like I even started just writing like poems and just writing words down. And even my biggest like thing is in the shower, dude. Like just like I'll be in the shower and like I'll just be like saying words off the top of my head, and all of a sudden I'll just be singing in there, and like all of a sudden
keep on going.
Exactly. It just clicks. But no, like I definitely, I mean, because I'm not a singer per se, because if I start singing, windows will start breaking and all that kind of stuff. But when I started writing, and I wrote that song, and then I showed it to a good buddy of mine now, Nathan Vasquez. We just kind of took off with it. He said he already had a melody like lined up for it. He was just like saving it for something good, and then bam, like it just happened. It's super, super cool.
Different ways to approach it, and that how you guys normally do it. Just you'll come up with some. You like to write the words down and see if you can make it fit on something that you and a buddy work on.
No, I love that.
Hey, dude, you'd be surprised how many people do that. There's great poetry writer. There's no wrong way to write a song.
No, exactly. No, people have so many different ways of doing it. Like even like not even country either, like rap. Like if someone like hears like the right beat, like they can just start flowing on it, and like it just like, and then country's like the same thing. It's just everyone has like a different way of writing it, like whether it comes to doing the chord progressions or whether you're just kind of like sitting there and writing some words down and stuff. Like you can do it so many different ways.
And I tell you what, man, it's an escape. You know what I mean? You just have to sit down and write it down, man, and if you keep it generally relative, then the narrative or the communication you're trying to get across, it's so much, you know, when everybody can relate, you know what I mean? That's the one you want. I feel like I try to do that. Sometimes it's too complex. Sometimes I got to sit back and like, chill out, dog.
No,
you're
exactly.
not Lil Wayne, but you know, you think like, I always think big like that. You know what I mean? It's always how I've been, you know, this is swag. I grew up listening to UGK and Eminem and, you know, Lil Wayne, 8Ball and MJG. I love my Houston and my Memphis guys. You know what I mean? Like being over here, we really only got put on the mainstream stuff. You know what I mean? And I took to the Pimp C and the Bun B, you know what I mean, of the world. And
No,
grow now. The more that you dive into it, the more you get older, you start to really respect. A lot of places, a lot of cities have scenes, man, that are underground that you don't even realize. Like,
no,
a lot
exactly.
of that shit goes on in Texas. Texas
Yeah.
is this whole like country, if you will. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to
No,
music,
exactly.
it's a whole mecca for country music. Texas country, they have their own genre. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's incredible to me.
No, exactly. No, it really is because like I said, my good buddy Nathan, he lives down in Texas, so like I know all that like stuff that's going on down there, and it's
Yeah,
cool.
that's neat, isn't it? I think it's so cool. I don't even know too much about it, but I know just enough, and that's something that intrigues me. I don't know anything. I don't know. Hell, I've been to Nashville to record, and I've been to Broadway a few times, but
Mhm.
honestly, I don't know shit about Nashville. I know that that's where I need to be eventually, as far as
Exactly.
when it comes to you know, man, the creative people are in Nashville, and they're nice people too, man. I haven't met a person. I didn't ever think that would be possible. I thought, man, there's gonna be so many egos, and granted, there are everywhere you go,
Right.
but you know who the good people, the good folks are, and like I said, there's more good than there is evil. So
Mhm.
there's more. I mean, the folks I've been pleasure to run into or had the pleasure to meet, they're just incredible people, man.
Yeah.
They don't make you feel discouraged. They want to encourage you to be better at what you do. So it's not, oh hey, what's up, man? It's, hey, how you doing, man? Like, you sound great, or a compliment's involved in there somewhere. How you doing, brother? Well, hey, safe travels.
Yeah.
Wish you the best. It's never any. I didn't hear any negativity, man, and I respect that, and I
Yeah.
appreciate that. You know what I mean? So, and that's something that you want to be a part of. You know what I mean? Because
Exactly.
it's good for the soul, baby.
No, exactly. And like just making connections in the music business is such like a key thing too.
For
Especially when
sure.
you're coming up and just stuff like that as well.
Yep.
So kind of getting near like the end of everything just so we can get into your song because like I
Yeah,
can't.
I think my phone is probably on about 15 right now.
Yeah, no, definitely. Just kind of like last little question before we hop into the song real quick is like I know you said you definitely have some stuff coming up soon that are in the works. Like what are your goals? Like where do you want to go and what else can we expect from you?
So my goals this year are same as last year. We want to stick to kind of what we have going on, where we want to do a little, as many venues as possible, but I kind of want to stick to target regions of my state.
Mhm.
The bigger picture is, larger, bigger than the branch out, go wherever, whoever's will allow me to play music. But we're pushing to try to do the South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia thing, realistically,
Yeah.
and keep hitting these scenes 2 or 3 to 4 times over the summer and the spring. See if we can't stay consistent in a couple of places and get the word out there, and just put new music out and network with folks, write songs with people, send a shit ton of emails to whoever I think needs to hear these songs.
Yep.
I'm always open to writing with people. I like to meet new folks. I like
Mhm.
serious people. I like people that are, you know, all about it just as much as I am. You know what I'm saying? I think that me saying that, there's some folks out there that can respect that.
No,
And
exactly. And I totally respect that. And
I'm
maybe,
sure
hey,
they feel the
maybe,
same way.
yeah, and then maybe someday down the road, you never know. Maybe we'll write together. You never know.
Cool, man. Yeah, and my thing is like I want to nobody really knows what they're doing when it comes to this stuff. You just go out and play. So I'm gonna stick to what I do best, and that's,
No,
singing.
no, exactly.
I'm gonna stay true to that. I'm gonna really dig into it, and hopefully me just staying true to that and get back to the core of just being a singer and just
Yeah.
giving everything I got will definitely be undeniable, to the point where we make some damn moves.
No, exactly, for sure. So kind of like without further ado, where I want to hop into the song real quick. What she's sipping on. Can you kind of give us a little quick bio about it real quick before we start playing it?
What she's sipping on. She's like that first sip feeling. I go to Starbucks. Well, now I go to a little locally owned coffee shop because we found one around the corner that's awesome, and they're fairly new. Shout out to Raw Coffee. They don't pay me or they don't pay for my coffee. I just like the coffee. Um, And then they're super nice and they know what we want every time we come. But I went to Starbucks every morning there for a while because it's right across the street at the top of my neighborhood. And the cup says first sip feeling. It was the middle of summer. It's real hot outside. And I was like, that's awesome. That first sip, I see it every day. That first sip feeling. And I was like, you know what? After I get off of work, every now and again, I stop into the little watering hole, the parking lot chock full of toolbox trucks. So we head over there, and I would stop and meet a buddy, or every now and again after work, and get me a cold beer. So at the time, my favorite in a glass at this spot we go to, Blue Moon, man, in the glass. Give me a Blue Moon, I'll put it down. So she's like that first sip feeling. One taste you're fiending, your lips are gonna linger all day. And how I tie those two together is when I leave that bar at 4:00 and I come home, and my wife's like, "You stopped by the bar, didn't you?" Because she could taste the Blue Moon on me. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I did." I mean, not any bad things, but it was
right.
like, she's like that first sip feeling. One taste you're fiending, the lips gonna linger all day. Thinking about that, you know what I mean?
No, exactly.
Change the subject. She's got the perfect eyes to match her smile and body like she can't be told a thing. Sometimes some things never change. So I was just sitting here one day and I came up with a little, da da da. It didn't even really do it. It was just two chords back and forth, D and G. And I took it with me in my head all day at work. And for about 2 weeks, I sat in my FedEx truck, because I'm a FedEx driver.
Oh, okay.
I've been there for about 8 years now, 9 years. And I just get on the phone with James, my headset. He'd be in 2 hours away. I'd be in my FedEx truck. We sitting there singing lyrics back and forth. What about this? I got it. Or I'll have something. I call him. I got the lyric. I'm singing and I got it. We just got to get back home so I can get my guitar. And I'm like, I hate working. I wish I was at home. But without working, you would, like, I tell people like this: you really want to leave your job and start writing songs, but without going out into the world, you don't really get any perspective. So I like FedEx because I can go to the wealthy neighborhoods, and I can go to middle class, and we can go to different areas where you don't normally be, or areas. I mean, that's kind of where I came from, the bottom. So we don't really go back around there no more unless we need to remind ourselves. But that song came out of me, and James had a couple things. He was like, "Man, you should say this," and like, it's always a fun time writing a song with a buddy, man, that really is passionate about it. You know what I mean? So it's fun. It's fun when you finally get it. And then we took it to Grady, and then him and Solomon put it together. Solomon Philcox, Littlefield, and the rest of the guys, and magic, man. I was hooked. So it did some work for me, as far as making me eager to get back, be motivated, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I inspired myself, and that made me proud,
No, for sure.
I came back home and wrote a handful of songs after that experience. So shout out to those guys for always being, supportive and always encouraging.
Yeah. No, for sure. I can't wait to get into this. So I'm just gonna play. Everyone always knows we'll play a quick first verse and the chorus, and hopefully you guys will all go check this out afterwards. This is What She's Sipping On by Randall Fowler.
What she's sipping on. Hey. Hey, grab a drink. Hey.
She's sipping on.
I love that hook. I love that guitar.
And that is awesome. That is What She's Sipping On by Randall Fowler. I mean, that is just it's such a just a cool, like, I just can't stop like bobbing my head to that and just jamming to it.
Cool, man. And another thing, like when I went in there, I was like, man, I need something. Like when I get up for work in the morning, I just didn't have that song that was making me move around like I wanted. I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? Like personally, like, so I want that song where I can roll my windows down on the way to work, and that first guitar riff just gets me going. There's a song I love to hear by Ray Fulcher. If you know who Ray Fulcher is,
Yep.
Great songwriter. One of my favorites. I like his style. And I like what he talks about. I like the substance of the stuff he sings about. But he's got a song called Life After You're Leaving. And when that first guitar hook comes on, I'm like, okay, my day is good. You know what I mean? That's the song I turn up because it's got some good feels to it, man.
No, for sure.
But I had to have me one. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. You had to get one out there for yourself. No, it's definitely so cool. So that's pretty much everything I have for tonight. Again, I appreciate you coming on and doing this with me, man. I can't wait to get this out there and have everyone taking a look at it, and then just people going out and listening to your music, because like you got some real good stuff out there, and I can't wait to hear more. Just real quick,
Cool.
do you mind just telling the people like where we can find you and stuff like that?
Absolutely. It's Randall Fowler Music on any platform you can possibly think of. Anything you have, Randall Fowler Music. You type it in, it's coming up. It's gonna be all me. Instagram, TikTok. Try me on TikTok, man. That's been fun.
Mhm.
TikTok's been getting a lot of response. Has some cool people. Have some cool blue check people like and comment on my videos, man. If you mosey over there, you can check out who they are. And a couple legends, and I'm proud about that. And let's just get this thing going. Let's blow this thing up. I got some music coming out that I want y'all to hear, and I want you guys to feel. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
let's get it.
No, let's get it, dude. I can't wait. Again, thank you so much for coming on, and that's another Spotlight series by yours truly, ACK. Randall, thank you again, man.
Hey, pleasure to meet you. Thanks for having me on. I had a really good time talking to you, brother.
Same here. Same here. Thank you.
Hit me up sometime. Let's chat.
Absolutely.
All right, buddy. Peace.